Hi everyone, it's me, Lily, with 2KBelow,
and Jen.
and today we have a salad from Trader Joe. Pretty healthy, spring, walnuts.
We're going to the gym and we're gonna keep it healthy today.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. So today's subject is, I think, something most girls deal with, even guys.
Even guys, yeah, definitely.
It's relationship issues, being ghosted, red flags that people actually they see the red flags and they choose to ignore them. So then you can't complain after why did something happen when you had the red flag and you just chose to ignore it.
Yeah, I guess also like you wanna believe that, because you like them so much, so you blind yourself.
That's the sad thing. I think we tend to always give somebody the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think I go to the extreme. Like I was super trustworthy, and now I'm like, I don't trust anybody.
Which is sad, because if there is someone out there that is really trustworthy, I'm sure if there is,
yeah,
you end up not.
Like I'm trying not to be super jaded, but oh my god, I mean, the dating pool is full of pee.
Pee or shit?
Both.
I think I could deal with pee, but shit.
Yeah, there's like everything out there.
Like as a female, I don't know.
What is like your biggest red flag? Like if you see something, even if you like a dude, you're like, okay, yeah, hell no, I'm not doing this.
Like love bombing in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, I'm amazing. Of course, you're gonna love me.
Yeah, but something. Oh.
I wasn't hungry at all. I'm like devouring this.
Well, the thing is, like, that's a red flag. Somebody red.
No, I know what you mean.
You shouldn't be love bombing.
Like, yes,
they don't
you're great,
know you.
But it's like also like, it's lack of like self control and self awareness. If you're like talking to someone like they're a goddess and you don't really know them, I have that happen.
Like, there's nothing wrong. Yes, communicate, reach out, send a text, not ignore them like 3 days because you think, like, if you're an adult, even if you're not adult, even for people that are in their early 20s, going out.
If you don't text me in 5 hours, you better be dead, because I'm not replying. Unless you told me, like you can communicate, like, hey, I'm gonna be busy today. You can say that.
Yeah, you better have a job that doesn't allow you to have your phone with you.
Yeah,
that's different.
I never had this before, but I've been reading it like on Instagram or Facebook. Oh my god, I'm a grandma. I still use Facebook. And girls that get asked to split the bill. I've never been asked, and I never pull out my card. Like, I'm like, if you invited me, then I'm gonna assume that you're paying.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I wouldn't have accepted. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm always assuming, like, if you're asking me out, you're gonna pay for it. So I'll just look at you like, thanks for dinner. Like, I'll say thank you, I'm grateful. But like, I keep reading it and I'm like, and did you pay? Like, that's insane to me. But yeah, I don't do that. First date. Afterwards, of course, you're in a relationship, you can split things, whatever. But that to me, it's like, it would be, because I haven't experienced it yet. So
yeah, especially on a first date and everything.
Well, like,
I'm sorry, that's not being sexist. I do expect the guy to pay.
Even if you go out and you get built up, makeup is expensive, you get your hair done, you get your nails done, maybe you even buy a cute outfit if you like the guy enough, Only if you like them enough.
No.
I'll use my regular clothes for regulars.
Yeah.
I never been asked also.
What if a guy asks you for a coffee date?
No, that's not a date. Coffee dates are not dates. I have 2 coffee machines. I can make coffee at my house.
But you know how you've seen a lot of girls posting, oh, this dude invited me to a coffee date. Some females are
like, how do you call that a date? Don't you have a coffee machine at your place? Like, are we 15? I'm 34. Like, come on, put a little bit more effort. That's the thing. It's the effort. Because, like, I had someone once, like, take me to a really nice dinner or whatever. And they were like, you're not those serial daters that just go out with someone for free lunch and free dinner. And I'm like, I'm not that. Like, I'm not, like, if I accept going out, I wanna get to know you too. But, like, I'm not gonna lie. It's also cool to have free, free nice dinner, free nice lunch. Like, don't make it a habit. It's not like you know what? If you want to make it a habit, so fucking what? But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna go for coffee. Like, when I wake up, I have to have my coffee within 3 minutes, or everybody dies. So, like, I already had coffee by 6 p.m. You know, I had a guy once, from one of the dating apps, and he was like, "Let's go on a coffee date," and I kept saying no because I don't do coffee dates. Like, coffee dates are not real dates. Unless you're already in a relationship, then it's not a date, it's just hanging out. But he kept texting me like crazy, like, come on, why not? You don't like Starbucks? You want to go to the Coffee Bean? I'm like, no, I just don't want to go out with you because you're super low effort. Imagine that you teach people how to treat you. If you're gonna accept not even bare minimum, like, be prepared to be always accepting that, because you're setting an expectation. You don't have to go get a lobster and steak,
Mhm.
but plan a lunch date or whatever. It's not even about the money. It's about, like, what they're doing for you. And if you just want to hook up, then yeah, go for a drink and your coffee. But other than that, hell no.
I think a lot of the issues too right now, and then people are crying that they can't find anyone, is that we are in the, I don't know if it's just now, when you read through history, um, the hookup culture. No one's
No.
really trying to really be in a relationship.
I have me and my theories. I have a whole theory about that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more like, I think booty is everywhere in our faces too much. Like, and I'm not a hypocrite. I post, like, pictures, and I have lingerie photo shoots or whatever. So I'm part of the problem, but so men, I guess, are overstimulated. So they think that they are, like, that's what they want. They just want to hook up.
But if you look back in like the Greek culture, they're very promiscuous too.
Yeah, but before it was like, when I was in my 20s, I think it was like 2000. Oh God, I'm old. When I got married super young too, right? But the little that I remember when I was single before I got married it wasn't like now. I mean, first of all, you didn't have date. I mean, you didn't have dating apps, but you had dating websites. Like, Match was always a thing, eHarmony, whatever. And people weren't, like, so upfront about it. Like, they had a little bit more shame to themselves. Even if that's what they were looking for, at least they concealed it a little bit better.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I feel like, the Victorian era, I believe, when you read about, everything women went through and how men treated them, you can't state that they weren't hoish. Even in the 20s, the roaring 20s.
Yeah, I mean, being a mistress was a noble title.
But, like you said, they concealed it better. It wasn't just out there, so everyone could be.
Here's what I think, right? Men and women, we all want to hook up and have sex ultimately. But for that to be your only goal and want to have quantity over quality, like, that's gross, especially now with all the diseases and shit. That's my big, like, I don't care about hookup culture. Like, I think girls and guys are free to do whatever they want. But, like, to me, that grosses me out. It gives me, like, the ugh, that's gross.
No, yeah, I get it. Like, people are free to do as they please. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, like, do you think with the hookup culture, is that affecting people with their relationship? Because they're like, they'll go on 5 Tinder dates, and one of them is trying to look for a serious relationship, and then the other one you don't know, or they're you want to say thing? I don't know, because you don't know. I guess you always have to be in the benefit of the doubt that person's going on multiple dates.
But that's what, like, that's when you have the red flags, because some people I think we women are very intuitive, and we shut down that intuition because we want to believe something else. But, like, the reality is that, yes, most are, like, people will lie to you to get what they want from you. You know.
And then they end up,
Yeah. And it's hard not to be a little dated or whatever. I think I am a little bit, but I really like. I've been telling myself a lot lately, like, what if this person is telling the truth, and just kind of leave it at that.
That's the hard part, is that you always give you're like, you know what, maybe this person's different. And then they just end up being exactly what you thought. You're like, yep.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You're like, yep, those are the flags. Yep.
So then it's like, at what point do I trust my intuition, and at what point do I think that I'm jaded and I don't, I'm the problem. Like, I have trust issues. I don't trust anyone,
I think
it's hard.
They have to give you a reason to really trust.
Yeah. Like, trust is built. And that's the thing. It's so easy to break it. It's so hard to build it. Yeah. But
it's hard to repair
it. I met someone, and I was like, even if I wasn't ready, I was like, oh, okay, well, everything is checking the boxes. I'm gonna give it a try. And of course, I find something out, and I'm like, oh, bye. And then this person is like, why have you changed? I'm like, I didn't change. I'm still me, but me is like, you had the person that wasn't lied to, and now you're having the person that knows that you're capable of lying. And those two are not the same nice Jin, Nice Jin is the trustworthy, the person that's gonna trust you and love you. And the mean Jin is like, as soon as you lie to me, I can't, like, I can't even force myself,
Well, it's because I think even in general with friendship, like once you do something, it's hard to go back from it.
It's hard to go back. Yeah. Well, friendship is a little easier because you have less expectations.
Yeah.
Than in a relationship. In a relationship, it's more like, the commitment and the exclusivity, and that only that person. But like in friendships, it's a little different. Like, you don't get jealous if they go out with other friends.
No, you don't. You don't get jealous. But I'm saying, like, if they, a friend hurt you, especially somebody that you trusted, like a best friend, and then they turn around and
they do something bad on your back. Yeah.
Yeah. You would never see them the same.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you still tried to move on from it, it's hard. And that's what I'm saying, like, guys need to understand, and girls, because it's not just guys, but girls do it too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a relationship and you're, like, what's the point of dating if you really don't want him? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, people date to get their pussy licked.
That's a whole different story.
That's what I read that meme. It's that I'm dating to marry, and then somebody put that, like, I'm dating to get my pussy licked, Karen.
Yeah, some people are.
I think, okay, but what, like, to me, it's like, I don't feel like the clock is ticking because I already have a kid. So I'm fine.
It's not about the clock ticking. I
feel like at this point in my life, I am looking for someone serious that wants commitment for, like, a long term than just hooking up and stuff, which I would have before. Like, I would have been fine with, like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna meet a bunch of people and whatever. Like, now it bothers me. Before, it wouldn't have bothered me that much. And maybe that's, like, also mental, like, to know, okay, this person only wants to do that, right? Mm-hmm. But now it does, because I'm like, damn it, that's not what I want. So we're not aligned, and this is not gonna work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think, like, how when people put, like, on their profile page, how you hear people complain all the time. They're like, this dude, he was looking for something serious.
Mm-hmm.
You hear these girls complain, and then all of a sudden they find out the guy had like 10 other girlfriends, and you're like, how do they have time for that too? Like,
how do you have time for? Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember everyone's name correctly? Or do you just call everyone babe?
You call everybody baby.
Everybody's baby.
That's just, like, 10 is a lot. My friend could juggle 5 maybe. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, and that's exactly true. Like, how do you have the time? Because you kind of have to dedicate people time to build, like, that rapport and that trust. But also, I mean, and that, I'm not victim blaming, but sometimes you do see red flags, and you just, like, you just want to blind yourself to them because this person, it's all you want, supposedly, or you see the potential. But yeah, they were just some people are just master manipulators, dude.
Yes, they are. And I think the main thing too is people live with the illusion of what they wish the future would look like with that person, what they want. And that's why they, like, have a red flag.
Hyper focus on that, and they don't see the present moment, and they don't see, oh my god, it's dawning on me now.
No, but like, I feel like people fall in love with what
with
You're
prospect.
hoping.
Yeah. But then there's some people are like so good at future faking. They'll tell you what you want to hear,
That's usually like narcissists.
or you believe it. Yeah, but I mean, I don't, because narcissism is a whole diagnose.
No, it
You
is,
know?
but they like because they know. Like, let's
Because
say I was dating you,
it's a
and I was a
personality.
narcissist.
It's a
I'm gonna give you
personality
everything
thing.
what you want, and then at the same time, I'm gonna manipulate you, tell you otherwise. I never said that. Like gaslight you.
Oh,
like,
gaslighting. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the worst. I lived with that for years and years of my life, and it was always like, oh God, like, there comes a point where you stop arguing only because it saves you energy. But you're right. So you say to yourself, I think every person in the world needs at least one narcissistic relationship in their life to like learn a lot about human psychology.
But not just that. Like you're like you said, you're in the relationship, and either you give up fighting, or when you bring something up, that's not how it happened. Or they make you feel bad. They're like, well, because you did this, this is why no, you reacted this way because this is who you are, not because of me.
But again, I think those are at like the very beginning of like relationships, and you just refuse to see it.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I just feel like girls need to stop falling in love with an illusion.
Yeah,
and then they need to. I don't know. Like the red flags are there if you see them in the beginning, and then I think it's funny how you see people ask, "Do you think this is wrong?" You know it was wrong. You just want me to
you just want
confirm it.
confirmation. Yeah, because if it seemed wrong, like in some way, shape, or form, it was, period. But like you said, you just want to hear the echo of like, yeah.
Sometimes your friend's advice might be wrong.
Well, somebody told me this the other day, and it made a lot of sense to me. They were like, because I have this issue too. I'm like, I used to tell my stuff to everybody. I'm an open book usually, like the way I talk and like and everything, and like I would tell everybody, and then you hear all these opinions, but like what she said was something like, sometimes you're sharing this with people that are unhealed, and they're gonna give you advice from their own trauma, and sometimes you didn't even need to hear that because it doesn't apply to your situation. It applies to the situation that they in their head affected them back when they got traumatized. And that made all like, after that I'm like, damn, I really need to stop. I don't know if necessarily trusting the wrong people, because it's not like the wrong people either. It's just they have a different life experience than me. So when I tell them one thing, they're looking at it from their perspective, and it's our lives are completely different. So I can expect them to understand what I'm telling them, let alone advise me on what to do.
Yeah, I think you bring a good point. That is true. Like
sharing your or asking.
I just feel like I don't. My thing is like I don't go around. Like I'll tell you. I'll tell like my friend Gio. Great. I don't tell and Johnson, and that's it. Like I don't tell anybody else anything.
Yeah. I used to be like that, and I regret it.
And my thing is, okay. So I tell them, but what I've learned too, if somebody asks me a question, like because sometimes you go out with friends and stuff, or like new friends, and they ask you stuff. People are nosy. People are always nosy, and they want to know something.
Yeah, and they don't want to like advise you. They just want to be nosy. They just want to be on the know.
And like what I have a life coach that told me, she's like, you know what, you have the right to answer. You could just say, you know what, I'm not comfortable answering you that question. Like, I think you're pushing your boundaries with me.
Or
like,
just say like, oh, yeah, it's a little private.
You could say or you could tell the person, because sometimes like people ask me, and I really don't care. I say like this: I'm an open book, like you said. If you ask me something, I'll tell you, because I feel like there's nothing to hide. But like I told somebody, I will tell you I have nothing to hide. But if you turn around and go tell somebody my story instead of letting me say it, that's a reflection on you and on your character, not mine.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes it's kind of like annoying. Like there's some things you can tell somebody and you don't care, they go tell somebody else. But if it's really, really personal,
Yeah.
you know.
You know what they said, that saying that goes, what I never remember the names, but it's like what Sally says of Susie says more about Sally than Susie.
Mm-hmm.
So like even that, like this is a red flag too when dating. Like when a guy talks horrible about an ex, because if you think about it, really, if I ask you about a guy that you dated 15 years ago or whatever, right? You're not gonna remember them angry. So what would you say? Like, oh, it didn't work. Well, it just didn't work. Whatever. Like, you're not gonna care, right?
Yeah.
But if I do the source insulting and saying like they were crazy, like they have an agenda, like to paint this person in bad colors. So at any moment this person reaches out to you, you're gonna think they're crazy, you know. So like discrediting them.
Yeah, like discredit their character.
Yeah.
Like you're making their
Oh,
character.
my ex is crazy. Oh, she did this, she did that. It happened to me. That's why my ex used to say that his ex was crazy, lazy. She didn't have a job, and telling me, you know, it was so, it fit perfectly the kind of person that I wasn't. So I would judge it, you know, like I was working 3 jobs at that time, and to me, like, oh, she didn't have a job. But what did she do? Was you know, you guys didn't have kids, like that, like, you know, when you get judgy and you on your high horse sometimes. I think we all do that once in a while. So now I'm like, if I like, what I want to hear from anyone is like, you know what, this person was great, but it didn't work out, because I don't need to know what happened. I mean, eventually I do, but like if immediately right off the bat they start talking crap, it's like, what really happened? Like, why was she? How do you make her crazy? You know?
That's true, and that's my thing too. Is like, I think that's another red flag, like you said, if they start bringing up their ex and why they split up, and you never even ask.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, I say like this: if I'm dating you right now, I don't care about your past relationship because I have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's what we are moving forward.
And has it happened to you that like as the relationship progresses, you start thinking to yourself like, damn, now I can see why she did that, you know? Like when, like back, I don't know, months ago when I thought she was indeed crazy, but then you did something that triggered me like that, and I'm like, fuck, like now I know what she, right?
Not you, but you know, the other
like
person.
now I know what she behaved like that. Now, like, or if they show you like a text or something to paint the picture of like, poor me, she was crazy, and you're like, and then something happens that he triggers you that exact same way.
Because they know how to manipulate. They've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, she was right. I think everybody should come with like a rap sheet from another person. Like,
come with their resume from their previous
so
relationship.
We need, like, see, that could be like a business idea. If they have self-driving cars, that by the way I'm terrified of, we should do that, like an app. Like, I mean, it could also be a lot of like perjury and defamation cases and stuff.
They can put like fake people they never dated too.
Right, exactly. Like just to mess with.
Because you know people put fake people, like fake jobs on their resume.
A whole business up idea, and we also tear it down. So that business plan.
We thought of it. Okay, we were
don't steal our idea. Well, it's in the works.
I know.
Rate my boyfriend. Right? Something like that. Wait, 1,000 years ago, I'm that old too. Like, remember the Dirty? The dirty.com. So this guy had a website that would talk smack about other people and give you like their tea. I hate that word, but like would give you like their tea. Like you could just send him something.
There's that Facebook page now.
Oh yeah, we're not supposed to say anything,
which I did.
but yeah, sort of like that. But it was public, so I think the guy got in a lot of. I think eventually he was like on reality shows and stuff. But like eventually he got in a lot of trouble for like, you know, lawsuits for defamation, like take this post down or whatever. But to me it's like, okay, even if it's a lie or a rumor, like we say in Spanish, right? When the river sounds is because it's dragging stones. Like if you hear something, like sometimes you have to give it a little bit of weight. Otherwise it's like that you're like blinding yourself. You know?
Unless you really have a crazy ex that really.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Sometimes you do have crazy exes.
Because there's some people that can never break up. You know how like there's those crazy people that will actually commit murder. No, but you wouldn't.
Oh no, commit murder.
No, but they'll be like, you see like the ID channel? That's like my favorite channel.
Oh, like murder mysteries and
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's always like some fucking love triangle.
Where like the other woman kills you or something.
Well, not always, but you know,
Uh-huh.
like the one. What is it? The I think they were in Colorado, right? The husband wanted a divorce. He was cheating. He put the wife. He killed the wife that was pregnant with the two little girls, and he.
Oh, that son of a.
You know what I'm talking about? Which
Can you believe he gets love letters in prison?
But you see how, like, okay, we never hear about men sending love letters to women in prison.
To like high-profile murderers too. Like it's
But it's always women. Like, low is your self-esteem? Was it from your childhood? Was it from your freaking relationship?
to send letters to prison. Yeah, you can do that. You can send letters
I
and
know,
put money in
but
your books.
Of course,
And it's like, and they're gonna love the bomb the fuck out of you.
they are. And besides that, they're not just love bombing you. They're love bombing 10 other girls that are writing them. They're even better players because they.
I can't believe people do. And then when the guy gets out, and I'm like, there is absolutely no common sense on that. Like, none. The guy is in prison. He's a criminal, and you're like, you still date someone. I mean, and this is not even judging. This is having common sense. Like, if you
You're sending him money.
If you stole money from someone else, you are capable of stealing it from me. So
no, yeah, but then like how low as a person? Okay, I get it. You want to be a pen pal for whatever. Maybe just send letters. You're like, you know what, God, I'm gonna do a good deed. I'm gonna send letters to somebody, so maybe they can have hope that there's good people. That's different. But to start falling in love with someone you never met, you only know their like criminal history,
exactly,
and you think they're innocent. That's the worst part.
Or
you know
like
they're in there, and you're like, I know they're a good person. Bitch.
Yeah. They could have good qualities, but not totally be like. I mean, not everybody's like totally good or totally bad, but like if they're mostly bad, then you should run the opposite way.
No, I think there are people that are
you could
pure evil.
Let's say they're like scammers and they manipulate you into committing a crime outside.
That's the other thing. The Tinder swindler. I want to know how these women, and they were educated women. You know,
but what if he makes you do a transaction where you are the one ending up in an investigation? You know, like you're like. Because that's what they do. Like I'm sure a lot of these people, they're still doing their crap with people outside jail. So who's to say they're not going to make you do something?
These are the women. I'm sorry, but you're dumb. You're dumb.
You literally have on paper their rap sheet, and you're still chosen.
And they're like, oh, look at this guy.
Yeah, money laundering and battery. I love it. Let me get more.
Can't wait till he gets out.
Domestic violence. Like he's not gonna hit me.
He'll never do that.
Yeah, he's getting out of jail in March, and then he's gonna move into my house and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and you don't even know the man. You truly don't know him. You just know him behind bars.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, and then I think about that too. Like on a dating app, how you're meeting anyone too. That's also scary. People can be on probation.
But at least now there's sites you can just put their information.
Yeah, you can now.
And you can see. You'd be like before. It'd be
like, not even just sites. People will. I had this conversation earlier with someone. People willingly put all their information out there, like on Instagram. Yeah. And you or some dudes that have a bunch of girls commenting underneath their pictures. A bunch of girls. Like, come on. Yeah.
Well, that's it for today, you guys. Well, thank you for listening to me, Lily, and
Jen
on 2KBelow. And make sure to follow us. We're on Spotify
and YouTube and Instagram
and TikTok. So make sure you guys go listen to us. And if you want to leave comments, let us know what you'd like to hear.
And hit the subscribe button.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.